What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So we'll be looking one more topic today, that is nothing but the logistic regression. So in last video we discussed about linear regression, where we just got to know how we can predict the series of values if we just train the data in the proper linear way. So let's say if I want to predict some values instantly, like ha yaar na, yes or no, truth or false, pass or fail, what you're gonna do? That is not useful, right? So let's say some prediction values like binary values. Either I want to know whether it will happen or it will not. So ये predict करने के लिए what we'll be using? We'll be using logistic regression. Okay, now I think you might have got the idea what we are gonna look into, the topic, which topic we are looking for. Yeah, so let me just show you something. So in this video we'll be covering these things. What is logistic regression? What are the use cases of logistic regression? How logistic regression helps us to predict the values? And finally we will be looking for the code. We'll be going for the code. Okay, what is logistic regression? So this is nothing but the type of regression which is meant to just have the value whether it is true or false. These are known as binary values. See, I'm just telling you only to make you understand the topic. Okay, don't even try to write it in exam. So I'm not here to help you for the exam. I'm just here to help you in the life, and how you gonna implement these all things in your career, that's up to you. So that's why I'm just telling you, this is simple definition. If you want to write it in exam, you need to just follow some bookish words and all, but I am just telling you in this way because you need to understand this. Okay, logistic regression is nothing but the ML model which allows you to predict 0 or 1s, the value of the model or prediction, which only tells you whether it will go pass or fail, truth और डेयर नहीं हो सकता, ट्रुथ और फॉल्स. ओके, हाँ या ना. सो दिस इज व्हाट लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन टेल्स अस अबाउट. सो व्हाट आर द यूज केसेस? यूज केसेस बोलूं अभी जाके, if I just propose some any girl and if she says yes, then it is true. If she says no, then it is false. मजाक कर रहा हूँ. मेरा तरीका मजाक करने का है. मैं हर वीडियो में बोलता हूँ, मुझे सीरियसली सिखाना नहीं होता. इफ शी सेज यस देन इट इज ट्रू, इफ शी सेज नो देन इट इज फॉल्स. वो कभी हाँ बोल ही नहीं सकती. ये फाइनल है, खत्म है. व्हाट वी कैन प्रेडिक्ट विद दिस मॉडल? हाउ वी कैन प्रेडिक्ट द मॉडल? See, let's say I have trained some data upon some values. Let's say हम 2001 में एक मैच जीते 200 रन से. Let's say अभी क्रिकेट का जमाना चल रहा है, तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि we scored somewhere around 220 runs and we just won the match. In 2002 we scored 250, we won the match. And in 2003 we scored somewhere around 180 and we just lost the match. And in 2004 we just scored somewhere around 100 runs and we lost the match. So you can see the variations in between these values. So what these variations tells us? This tells us how much we are nearer to the passing point, average. So whether if we just score more than 200, we are nearer to the winning point, and if we are less than 200 point, then we are very much nearer to losing point. You're getting my thing? So this is how model works. So it just finds the nearest value. Let's say 100 is pass, 200 is pass, 100 is fail. Okay, then if I just give the amount of 225 or else in between value 175, which will be very much nearer to 200. So what it is capable of predicting? It will predict it as pass only, because it is very much nearer to pass value. And if I just give only 125, which is very much nearer to fail value, then it will show us as a fail value. You got my point? It is very much clear, very easy. nearest point. अभी समझो, यहाँ पे मेरे पास कुआं है, यहाँ पे है आसमान. अगर मैं कुएं के नजदीक खड़ा हूं तो मैं छलांग मारूंगा, अगर मैं आसमान के नजदीक खड़ा हूं तो उसको मैं अच्छे तरीके से देखूंगा। यहाँ पे मैं मर सकता हूँ, यहाँ पे मैं जी सकता हूँ। इतना सिंपल एग्जाम्पल है। ये बहुत थोड़ा डार्क हो गया, डीप हो गया, लेकिन देखो समझना है, मशीन लर्निंग जानना है तो प्यार में, जंग में और कोडिंग में सब कुछ जा सकता है। चलो कोड देखेंगे, हाउ कोड वर्क्स। Logistic regression, this is PyCharm IDE, and here you can make some virtual environment. Here you can make those environment for specific file, ये तुम अपने हिसाब से बना सकते हो. So I have installed 3.9 Python 3.9 version, and I'm just doing that because most of the ML model works upon 3.9 itself, and next industry grade is 3.11. Next will be coming for 3.14 or 15, might be, I don't know, but 3.9 is best for the ML models. Let's start the code now. Okay, ये थोड़ा बाजू में रखेंगे. So in last video, however, we just got to know if I want to do something in machine learning, I would need one package called Scikit-learn. So what we call it as sklearn. From sklearn dot, इसके अंदर क्या चाहिए मुझे? लीनियर मॉडल चाहिए. And I have already told you, it just suggested me logistic regression, and I just pressed tab button, so it came directly. Next, let's say मैं भी क्रिकेट का एग्जांपल लूं, वो एक बहुत आसान था ना. x is equal to 100, 200. ओके, हम क्या करेंगे? y की वैल्यू लेंगे. y इज इक्वल टू कौन सा वैल्यू? 0 and 1 पे हम उसको ट्रेन करेंगे. इफ इट इज नियरर टू 100 देन इट शुड फेल. इफ इट इज नियरर टू 200 इट शुड पास. सो इफ 100 इज फेल, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय फेल? 0. सो 0, 200 मीन्स पास, मीन्स 1. खत्म, जिंदगी सेट है हमारी. अभी मॉडल में हम कॉल करेंगे मॉडल, MODEL इज इक्वल टू लॉजिस्टिक. इसको डायरेक्ट कॉल मार देंगे, कॉपी कर लो. लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन, इसके सामने मेथड कॉल कर देंगे. सो लास्ट टाइम इन लास्ट वीडियो आल्सो आई हैव टोल्ड यू, इफ वी जस्ट ऐड द पैरेंथेसिस in front of the model name, it becomes the method. Method is nothing but the function. Function is nothing but the set of code which can be called through some variable. That variable is model here. Okay, so next what we are going to do, prediction, DICT, predict is equal to model. We need to predict.x. First we need to fit it. Let's say predict it is equal to, let's train it first. Okay, because now I have just initialized the data and I need to train the data. Then model is capable to predict the values. Until and unless I don't train it, it doesn't know what to do. So what I need to do, I just need to train the model called dot fit. In last video I have already told you what fit does. Fit just turns data into model. It trains it. It is simple form of training. So predict value. अभी वैल्यू किसको देंगे हम लोग? सिंपल, लेट्स से आई वांट टू प्रेडिक्ट इट फॉर 120. क्या लगता है 120 को क्या आना चाहिए? लास्ट टाइम आई टोल्ड यू इन एग्जांपल which one we have already seen. 120 should be fail, right? So I just run it. Oh, I didn't print it, right? If predict is equal to 1, print you passed the exam, or you won the match. Okay, else सेम वाला प्रिंट कर दो खाली। आया था ना कुछ तो। यू फेल्ड द मैच। वाह, अपने आप दे दिया, एआई की ताकत। यू फेल्ड द मैच। 120 स्कोर करोगे विच इज वेरी मच नियर टू 100, डेफिनेटली यू गोना फेल, राइट? I'll just give 180. You pass the exam or you won the match. Good. अभी हम इसको देंगे खतरनाक वैल्यू, बीच वाली देंगे वैल्यू। यू पास्ट। वेट वेट वेट, क्या हुआ ये? बीच वाली वैल्यू देंगे और इसको रन करेंगे। यू फेल्ड इन एग्जाम। ये ऐसा क्यों हुआ बोलो? क्योंकि अगर मैं यहाँ पे, ये बहुत बीच वाली वैल्यू है और हमारा कभी भी एरे जो चालू होता है 0 इंडेक्स वैल्यू से चालू होता है और वो रुकता है कहाँ पे? n-1 पे। सो इट इज ट्रीटिंग इट एज n-1 itself. So you need to know whether it is nearer to 0th index or else nth index, n-1th index. So first index, sorry. So it is very much nearer to 0th index. That's why it is showing like this. If I just do it here like this, let's say you pass the exam. Simple. You got to know that only one digit difference. So if we want to train a model to only predict whether he's gonna pass or fail, then you can make use of this logistic regression. Now what I'll do, I'll just trace some values of data 200, let's say अभी हम करेंगे 300, 400, 300, 400, और मैं क्या करता हूं 0,1,1. If it is very much nearer to 200 and 100, it should show me as it failed. You failed the exam. So 151 is very much nearer to 100 and 200. So if I just give some amount in between 250 to 300, it will definitely show me as you passed the exam. So only to predict the values, we just make use of this thing. So I just give 280, which is very much nearer to 300, and which will give us a output of you won the match. Okay, दिस वॉज द वेरी सिंपल वीडियो ऑन लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन। कोई टेंशन नहीं लेने का, एकदम इजीली है, इजीली हो जाएगा। मैं ऐसे ही बहुत सारे वीडियोस लाता रहूंगा, कुछ टेंशन वाली बात नहीं है। खतरनाक तरीके से मशीन लर्निंग सिखाऊंगा। तब तक के लिए मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में। तुम करना तब तक लाइक, शेयर, सब्सक्राइब, कमेंट। तब तक के लिए मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में। बाय बाय।